against the pledge?
Could be.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. A couple evening's meetings over here. First, we have an employee service, years of service recognition. We do, all right. So.
So these are 2022s. Typically, we do it in the spring based upon circumstances. We thought this may be better if we wait. So we've done it now. They will be rewarded through the payroll system for the.
I can't hear you.
Oh, well, let me speak up.
Okay.
Okay, so our service awards are actually for 2022. And so I'm gonna start with my 5 years. And they are Carrie Boger Michael, she works at the library. Lauren Walken, he does the janitor, well, I guess he doesn't actually do janitor, he keeps the boiler going at the fire department. He was our janitor and came back to assist the fire department guys. John Kennedy, fireman, Zach Matthews, detective, Mark Miller, detective, and Justin Ducey, firefighter. My 10 years are Joe Ball, public works light caretaker, Ryan Razor, lieutenant for the PD. 15 years is Joe Blake, fire department, Cam Johnson, fire department, Woody Farmer, fire department, Eric Jenkins, police, Brett Marler, public works, Jeff Van Dossel, fire department. And now, believe it or not, we have some 20-year ones. And we have Marsha Prosy, City Hall, and Chris Courtney, fire department.
Very good.
They are great employees.
Thank you, Vicki. Thank you. All right, the consent agenda. Did anyone on the council have any questions on the consent agenda? If not, is there a motion?
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented and authorize the mayor to sign.
I'll second.
Smale.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Beckman.
Aye.
Shield.
Aye.
All right, next we have public comment, and I know there's some people that want to speak, so just a little housekeeping. When addressing the council, please step up to the podium, state your name and address so that it can be recorded in the minutes of the meeting. And please limit your comments to 3 minutes or less.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dustin Hawkins. I live at 22428 West 387th Street. I'm a longtime Paola resident, grew up in Paola, graduated from Paola. My issue for the last quite a while has been the baseball fields. As many of you probably noticed, I'm outspoken on that issue. I'm a baseball player. I played baseball for Paola for 15 years. I've been coaching here for almost 15 years now. My son back there, he plays baseball here for Paola. As a matter of fact, he just got back from the All-American games where he was voted MVP in the nation. He was #1 pitcher in the nation. The reason why he was able to do that is because we go down to those fields all the time in practice. If you know anything about baseball, you don't get good just by going to practice. You go on your time off. Those fields down there, I'm disappointed in those fields. I have a picture of one of our best high school players that got hit in the eye last year, I believe, because he was taking a grounder and hit one of the grass clumps, one of the many grass clumps down there, and it came up and hit him in his eye. That's one of our best baseball players on the high school team, and he still got hit. He ended up spending 2 days in the ER, or 2 days in the hospital and going plastic surgery to get his face reconstructed. That's not even these little kids. My son is 12. His friend back there is 13. My son, he hits 85 miles an hour coming off the bat. Can you imagine another 12-year-old trying to field an 85-mile-an-hour fastball on a baseball field that's full of grass? So we try to go to the new fields that we have paid for, only to find out that they're locked. We did see something else posted yesterday that we're getting a little bit of time down there, but that's, you never know with travel baseball. Mr. Smell, you may know about travel baseball. Your granddaughter plays. You never know when you're gonna have time to go down there. Half the time I go down there, I don't know when. I'll pick up my son from school and he's just like that. Can we go play ball before we go home? Sure, son, we already have the stuff in the back of the truck. Let's go. And we go down there. I've called City Hall numerous times to get a hold of the rec director to have the fields unlocked. Only to be told he's not in the office. Maybe, can you leave a message? I've been in City Hall numerous times to get the fields unlocked so we can get some play time. Only to be told he's not in the office. My friend just called last week, or this week, sorry, to get time, not in the office. Numerous kids. My son, the child back there, Caden Hendrickson, I can name off 15 off the top of my head that would love to be able to go play on those fields. But unfortunately, in the condition that they're in, it's too dangerous. And we can't play on the turf field because they're locked up. So I can tell you this, all these kids that want to go down there and play, they're gonna take care of the fields. We spend more time on the turf fields and more time at the baseball fields in one weekend than 95% of this community. We spend 3 days a week at the turf fields. We play an average of 75 games a year. These boys know how to take care of those fields. Turf is hard to tear up. It's a lot harder than what people think. It's very durable. Please open up the more time. These kids, these are the kids that you want out there playing baseball. You're worried about vandalism. The whole thing that causes vandalism. Kids. You have bored kids, they're gonna mess stuff up. Mr. Corbin, you can attest to that. Bored kids are gonna go out there and vandalize. Give them something to do. When we were kids, we had the activity center. We were able to go there and play. We don't have that anymore. What do the kids in this community have? Now we've taken away baseball.
One thing that might help is we are looking at doing a lot to the other fields. We're in the process of looking into it, getting what we can get done, who we want to do it and that kind of stuff. So the other fields are going to be done a lot more stuff to them. They're going to be made much more playable.
Okay, at what point is that though? Because I was told just last week that the reason why they're not maintained now is because baseball season is over. Payola season might be over for rec ball, but it's not over for many. We still need fields to play on.
I would say if everything goes right, you might see construction on the other fields sometime this year.
That would help, but like I said, there's numerous kids out there that want to play baseball, and they play baseball year round.
And it may turn out that we need to a lot more time on the free time on the other fields.
And I sent you a link to an electronic gate. All you need is a card. I can give you my driver's license and you can download all the information on the gate card. Every time you swipe it, it logs who's in there, what time they're in there, everything else. You can get numerous, they send you a whole box of these cards. There's 500 cards. You can just divvy them out to whoever needs them. And that alleviates Wes from having to come down there and unlock it for somebody, and it tracks everybody who's in there. They're not really that expensive. Did you look at the link? They're not that expensive. All you need is one of those per gate. You don't need to put them on every single gate. And that'll alleviate this problem. Because like I said, there's numerous parents out there. They do, like it or not, it's not like the old days. This is travel ball. People play year round now. They don't just play rec. You umpired for me, sir. Many times I was behind the plate with you. We don't just play rec ball anymore. We play year round. We need a safe, nice place to play. And with Kansas there, all you guys know, if it rains, where are we gonna play at? You know, I've done my fair share of dragging those fields as much as possible, but there's only so much that the community can do. I've done it, Kurt Saul has done it, Frank McMahon has done it, Travis Sullivan's done it. There's numerous guys that have been down there. With the selection of this rec board, everybody that voted on it was under the impression that they were gonna start taking care of the fields. Everybody I talked to said, we need to vote this in because nobody takes care of the field now. We need this rec board so they can take care of the field, so the kids have a place to play. And it's not being done yet. And
I
it's
think
sad.
you'll see a lot of difference in the very near future.
I certainly hope so.
I really
Like I said, there's numerous kids out there that want to play baseball, but they have no place to play.
And we're trying, like I say, we're looking at getting a lot of the fields fixed up. Not only baseball fields, but soccer fields and flag football fields. Because they all need a lot of it.
But mainly, I mean, soccer, you don't take bad hops on soccer to the base.
And in the
Baseball,
city,
you do.
in the city's defense a little bit, they inherited the fields that was deteriorated pretty bad when they got them.
I understand, but
All right, sorry.
you can grade it very easily with a lawnmower and a grade. It doesn't take very long just to level it down, get rid of the grass.
But I honestly think you'll see a big difference.
And I understand, somebody told me last week that the fields weren't taken care of because it's not baseball season. I was down there all baseball season.
Mhm.
I was down there all baseball season. The fields are like that during the season too.
Thank you, Dustin.
Thank you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Enlow. I live on 605 East Osage Street. I kind of just want to second the thing on the baseball fields. My daughter's getting ready to play softball. I have 5 daughters. I talked to Kathy not too long ago. I have a second point I want to bring up. But you know, they all want to play softball. And I don't want to come home to an emergency call and my daughter get hit in the face because, you know, she's building grounder. You know, those fields need a lot of attention. So we gotta get that going. My second point, I talked to Kathy about a month ago. Cars going down Osage Street. It is crazy. Like I said, I got 5 daughters. They want to play in the front yard. I have twins. My twin girls almost got hit. You guys remember a few years ago, one of those twins got killed. I don't want that to happen to my daughters. We've got to get cars slowing down, going down Osage. I mentioned to Kathy, maybe even putting speed bumps in. They're not that expensive to slow cars down. It's really not. At the corner of Osage and East, cars fly right through there. They don't stop there. The police department did a great job there for a while, posting up behind that metal building. I got a lot of people, I don't see the police there anymore. I've mentioned it a few times to dispatch and it's not happening. We gotta get cars slowing down there. Cause I don't wanna lose my children to an erratic driver coming down Osage and, you know, I don't have a daughter now. It would be a very grumpy dad. That's all I want to bring up.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else?
My name is Deborah Crane. I'm the director at the Paola Senior Center. My address is 906 North Hospital Drive, apartment 41. And I'm here on behalf of the board of directors of the senior center and our many patrons that come and visit our center for multiple reasons. To thank you for the parking lot across the street. We've had every day somebody comments about it all day long. I heard good comments about how wonderful it is, and we were thrilled that it got done quickly and soon after it was approved. And it's just a wonderful, beautiful parking lot that we are greatly enjoying, and we thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Deb.
Hello, my name is Kim Bain and I live on the corner of Hospital and Peoria. And kind of to echo the gentleman's part, this is a safety concern. At that intersection, and I am the least innocent driver in this room, so I am not here to point out any drivers. But at the speed that they go at that intersection it's going to get someone killed. I've seen a little girl get hit on her bike and it kind of bumped her. So thank God she didn't get hurt any more than that. And I've seen several times where the bicyclists, they can barely get by and a car is within a foot of them. And I've spoken with rep and police office and city hall, and everybody's been so gracious. and the cops have sat there a little bit kind of observing and watching. And of course, about 85% of them behave themselves, as I would too. But the direction that I am most concerned with is from the south going north. I am just wondering if some of them don't see that stop sign. Some of them it's on purpose, absolutely. But right after I had just spoken to somebody about it, I was getting in my car and I was headed east. And this lady, I could see, she was coming up from kind of the Osage and that hospital area. And I got, oh gosh, I'd say a third of the way out into the intersection. And I was like, this gal is trucking, and she just kept going. And I slammed on my brakes. She was already in the intersection and she waved her hands like this. She could tell, you could tell she had no idea. I mean, she was one of the few. So anyway, I'm just concerned for all the kids that walk there, for the schools, the mentally challenged residents at like Lake Mary and Medical Lodge, because somebody is really going to get hurt there. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
During Lasher, 28-310 Lone Star Road. I'm not gonna read this, I'm just gonna hand it out and you guys can discuss it.
Just from a brief overview, I believe this will be addressed during the agenda.
Session? Oh, during the agenda.
During the
Okay.
agenda, so
Okay.
we can just
Move on. Okay.
bring it up then if that's okay.
Okay. Yep. I figured so, but
Yes, we can read it,
Okay.
then we'll just, yeah, make sure they all get addressed.
All right.
It should all be good.
anybody else? Okay. On to new business. One of my favorite visitors of the year, Mr. Mott. 2023 Roots Festival.
We actually have a meeting at 6:30 tonight, but thank you for letting me be here, mayor, council, staff. I got an invite today. No, I'm kidding. So I am Lee Mott, and I'm here to represent the Roots Festival, the 34th annual. I personally have been involved 31 of those 34 years. It comes around quicker every year, it seems like. The dates this year are August 25th and 26th. The festival includes live music, national, regional, and local musicians. The East Central State Barbecue Championship, which that has been sanctioned 28 years this year. So, and this year we actually added a backyard cook. There's a long story about why we did that, and I won't go into it, but I almost thought I was gonna have to get the city involved with a Baldwin cook-off that's the same weekend, and so anyway, I won't go into it. But you almost got, but so we're we're happy about the cook-off, and actually this year it'll be our state cook-off will even allow other cookers to come on Saturday. It's the last qualifier for points for the regional, the American Royal competition, so which is the national competition. So sometime we can talk more about that. But anyway, we have arts and crafts, we have food vendors, we have games and rides, and our featured headliners this year on Saturday night is Mr. Paul Thorne out of Tupelo, Mississippi. And some of you may have seen him at the Roots before. He's been here one time before. And we have on Friday night, the headliner is a band called the Georgia Thunderbolts, which is a younger Southern rock band. They remind me a lot of Leonard Skinner. I think they're gonna be really good. 5 boys out of Rome, Georgia. So. Currently, our staff, our committee, I'm the president, the vice president and founder of the festival, Gary Patillo. Gary's basically retired now, but we keep him on there as honorary vice president. Treasurer is Christy Johnson, our secretary. So we have multiple hats too. Christy also takes care of the volunteers. Tammy Johnson is our secretary. She also takes care of the games and rides. John Smell is our barbecue committee head. Taylor Mott is in charge of our marketing. Lindsay Maxwell does arts and crafts. Tammy Mott is in charge of hospitality for our musicians that perform. Food vendors is handled by Jamie and Woody Farmer. Jamie does all the work. Director of Mercantile is Judy Doherty and Brittany Brown. Bill Sanders was heading up our security team, and Bill's had some health issues that doesn't allow him to do that this year. So I've kind of taken that over for him and working with the Miami County Sheriff's Department to provide some off-duty officers. And then along with, of course, the Paola Police Department, we love having there, and they do a great job for us every year. So we think that we'll have a good security team, trained security people. So not worried at all about that. So that will be good. And our environmental technician is Joshua Furnish, which he picks up the trash. We're a not-for-profit organization, so there are no paid positions on our festival. All the money goes back into the festival, or it goes to donations to the community. We do a scholarship, our 19th year of doing the Blue Moon Scholarship. This year was a $500 scholarship given to Truman Van Donzel at Paola. And if there's any money left over, we normally don't make much money at the Roots Fest. But it's always nice to do those scholarships. That Blue Moon Scholarship is given to a student that's going on in the arts, like it could be music or just any part of the any type of arts. Our budget is just right at $105,000. We have over 200 volunteers that help out during the event. We have close to 100 local sponsors that either give monetarily or in-kind donations, which is amazing to me. Over the years, the sponsorship, it always kind of stays consistent. It was down a little bit last year. We were off 2 years and we came back last year, so that's expected. Our crowds were a little low last year. I think COVID still was an issue, and cost, everything went up. Everything but the ticket price, but the layout this year will be the same. We'll do northwest gate and a southeast gate, so we'll have 2 gates. We try not to hassle the square merchants. We know that it does cause some trouble for them, but we do offer them a booth in the park if they like. And of course, some do that, but since your storefront is just right there, we always encourage people that are attending to get out on the sidewalk and see any of the businesses that are open. This will be our 2nd year for online ticketing through Eventbrite, which went well last year. We're going to offer that again. We have an advanced 2-day pass. It's sold at the local banks, kind of like, we like to be an old school. We're still pretty old school, actually. And of course, you can buy tickets at the gate. The food court will be in the same place. Crafters in the park. The games and rides are kind of a locally owned instead of a carnival. We feel like that might be a little safer for kids. Again, the police force that has been provided, we appreciate that and hope that we have the same. And you can go to rootsfestival.org or follow us on Facebook. You can get more information about the bands that are performing, the barbecue and. I was just thinking about like, it is an honor and I'm glad that you allow the Roots Festival and the support that the city gives. I just remember back like Floyd Grimes going to a meeting down in the bottom of the community center and he was pretty gruff, you know, so. I don't mind. But anyway, it's just been a long history and I wish I could remember, you know, all the stories. You know, put it in a movie or something. I don't know, but there's just a lot of memories, just the city help. I can't say enough about the public works guys. I mean, they're, it's almost like we all know each other's moves now, so that is very much appreciated. So. Any questions or?
I don't think so.
I've always been amazed when you can pack 4,000 or 5,000 people in a 4-block area and have as little problems as we have ever had.
Yeah, I am very thankful. And I'm amazed also, like. Sometimes it's a warrant that's issued out for someone and conveniently. They're found or, you know, it's really, we haven't had trouble,
Always been minor.
yeah, so,
You know, when we go to church on Sunday morning, it's clean.
yeah,
I mean, they're still up there taking fencing and things down,
yeah.
but you would never know that the night before there are 5,000 people in there. It's impressive.
Josh Furnish, our environmental technician, he does an amazing job. Like,
It's amazing.
yeah, it's the next morning too, we're like, what, how, you know, but. Cause back in the day, I was the trash person. And that is a memory of picking up the onion blossom that had sat there. It's nice and cold and. So, yeah, good memories.
Good times.
We're excited.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. All right, the confirmation of notification of Emma filing.
Yeah, so the 2022 financial statement and operating data were filed on the electronic municipal market access on July 14th. You all should have received an email about that on the 17th. Our disclosure policy requires that I notify the council within 5 days. And at the next meeting that you acknowledge that it happened. This is basically transparency for our financial information. It goes out on the bond market. Everybody can see it. If anything were to happen where we couldn't pay a bond payment, it would go out there too. So luckily we don't have any of that, but it's just for transparency, basically.
Good.
Yeah.
Are there any questions? If not, is there a motion?
I move to, well, how did this go? Okay. To acknowledge that in compliance with section 2, sub 2 of continuing disclosure policy for the city of Paola, the city clerk did provide to the governing body written confirmation from Emma that the 2022 supplemental operating data for the city of Paola has been submitted and filed properly with the Municipal Securities Rulemaking Board through Emma on July 14th, 2023. And that's just securities exchange compliance.
I second.
That's not part of it.
That's just.
It was a great ad.
Yeah.
Smale,
Hi.
Hayes,
Hi.
Beckman,
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Thank you. New Park Plaza liquor license, and we talked about this, they're changing ownership, is that right?
Yes, we did. So I was contacted by a licensing consulting firm that said they wanted to get a new license at 1403 Baptiste Drive. So that is a non-transferable license. So they had to go through the whole process of a new license, and that is why it's coming to you as its own item. They have basically submitted everything they need but the state license. They intend to take over on September 1st. So as long as you approve that, they will have to submit the state license to me before we will issue the license.
There aren't any questions, is there a motion?
I move to approve the new liquor license for Park Plaza Liquor located at 1403 Baptiste Drive.
Second.
Smale.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Beckman.
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Thank you. The trash rate increase, which is ordinance number 3210.
Yeah, so again, as we discussed at work study, we do contract with Waste Management. In November of 2020, we did pass ordinance 3166 to adopt the trash increase to 1825. Annually, that does get a 2% increase for waste management through our contract, and we are now behind on that. So we pay $18.55 per customer. So we're losing about 30 cents per customer every month. This, after some calculations, we are in 2025, our contract ends with waste management. So if we were to increase the rates to the 2050, that would get us through to the 2025, and then we can figure out how to move forward from there. But right now, we're just using our reserves in that fund.
I have some quandary about these, being on a fixed income, retired. Any increase, water or, trash haulers. But at the same time, the obligation to the citizens that the city is financially responsible for seeing that level, and we're not charging other people for that. So I move to adopt the ordinance 3210 to increase trash collection service fee from $18.25 to $20.50, beginning with the August 31st, 2023 billing.
A second.
Snail.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Peckman.
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Thank you. The social media user policy, which is a resolution.
Yeah, this actually, our employee manual addresses the use of social media as an individual person representing themselves on social media. We need a policy that shows how people need to, I guess, basically follow the rules and guidelines as representing the city on Facebook. You're not allowed to delete comments. If you put something out there, it stays. If you don't like it, it's too bad. So hopefully you're able to all read the policy. I didn't bring it to work study. There are only 8 instances where you can actually delete something on Facebook, and that is actually spelled out in the policy. But you better make sure the city attorney approves before you do it. So we are hoping to get this out so the public knows we do have this policy and that we intend to follow it. And we of course make sure anyone that represents the city on Facebook also has that policy.
It's good protection for the city.
Yes.
And this came from Communication Council.
The Communications Council, they did, this is based on the relevant case law as of like May, so it's very current. So nothing was changed from that.
Anyone have any questions? If not, is there a motion?
I move to approve resolution number 2023-015 to adopt the terms and conditions for users of the city of Paola's social media sites.
I'll second.
Snail.
Aye.
Hayes. Peckman.
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Thank you. Now we have the traffic control device schedule update, which is another resolution. Speaking of that brand new parking lot.
The parking lot did get overlaid and there was one handicap parking spot in there, but it was not on our schedule. And after overlay the parking lot, we decided we probably ought to add some more, so we did add 5 more parking spots. And so we wanted to put them all on the traffic control schedule. There's a map on the back there that kind of shows where those are located. Kind of puts on at both ends of the parking lot. And then there was some loading zone signs at the east side that are no longer required. We needed it now, so we would like to remove them. And then down at the Wallace Park ball fields, we put some handicap parking on one side and then people are walking back and forth. And it's kind of congested down there, so we installed a couple stop signs on each side of the crosswalk to try to make it a safer place for people to cross down. So those need added to the traffic control device.
Any questions? I think this is, these are all good. No, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2023-016, amending the traffic control device schedule for the city of Paola.
Oh, second,
Smale,
Aye.
Case.
Aye.
Peckman,
aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Thank you. The Central Square RMS CAD proposal.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I'll tackle this one along, I'm sure with help with Chief Corbin. I did give credit to Captain Eric Jenkins on here because he's the one that gave me the 4-page book report on it and it's copy and pasted into your memo. So I had to give him some credit because he put a lot of work into this. So I'm sure you have read the entire memo, but just kind of long story short, our current provider is Huber and Associates, also known as Interpol. So during the planning phase of dispatch, we still have different services. Miami County Dispatch has different services than City of Paola. They're able to do a patch through so they could still communicate. Miami County has a contract with Central Square to move to a different, obviously, communication system. So Huber and Associates, after exploring some options, won't be able to communicate with the same dispatching service. So as of this date, Miami County Sheriff's Office is on contract with Central Square Technologies for both the record management system and the computer aid dispatching system. They started the data conversion, are looking to go live in the first quarter of 2024, and both Lewisburg and Osawatomie Police Departments have also signed contracts to migrate to the system as well. So this would put everyone in the county on the same system. Let's see here. So this will allow information to be entered immediately into the CAD system by the Miami County Sheriff's Office dispatchers, which our officers are currently doing themselves. So that will help alleviate that. And then it'll be ready accessible for everyone who looks at the system. And it will also fulfill some needs that they previously looked at from the previous provider, Huber and Associates, which is real-time patrol unit GPS monitoring as well as crime mapping. This will also take place of our evidence room software we're going to update. They also have an option for that as well. So kind of an all-encompassing update for us. So the proposal provided by Central Square is an upfront cost of $55,809 with an annual recurring cost of $7,532.79. Our current dispatching software, our annual cost is $10,521. So essentially we'll be saving $3,000 a year after implementation. But the upfront cost is always going to hit you. There is also an initial upfront cost of $29,250 for the data conversion to get all of our current data into the new software.
But that's included.
So the total proposed amount is $63,341.79. So that's included in the total proposed. So $55,809 will be paid out of ARPA funds, and the initial recurring cost will be paid out of the police 2024 department budget that we already, did the 10,000 annual, so let's take 7,000 out of that.
Yeah.
So, so staff recommend accepting the proposal from Central Square. And the proposal is also attached if you would like to review that lovely long proposal. But any questions can be directed to Chief Corbin.
Well, I'm just glad that this is gonna stop having our officers not only dispatch, but, roundabout way of doing their duties and that, no, they just need to be.
Yeah.
It's gonna save so much time.
Yeah.
This program, yes.
Yeah,
And alleviate stress, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
How long, once this is all implemented and downloaded, will it start looking different for the officers and for the dispatchers?
Well, once it's all downloaded, it'll look different immediately. It's gonna take some time for everybody to transition to the full capability of what it can do.
That's what I was wondering, if there's a training.
Yes, there's definitely training.
yes.
Yes, we will be training the officers, and the company actually brings somebody in to help us, so yes.
Sounds good. Any other questions? If not, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the proposal from Central Square in the amount of $63,341.79 $0.79 and authorize the necessary signatures.
I second.
Smale,
Aye.
Ace.
Aye.
Heckman.
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, the digester diffuser replacement.
Sounds
Super exciting.
It is really exciting,
It's exciting for her.
but it's necessary. This is, if you remember, we did a water and wastewater master plan back in May 2022. And this was part of the suggestions that we needed for upgrades to the plant. Along with some other things, but we have already done the 8 basins, and this is the digesters, which are the 2 basins to the north side of the plant out there. We did reach out for bids from 2 different contractors. Crossland Heavy Contractors was $205,000. CAS Contractors was $177, $25. CAS Construction was the one that built the plant, and they were the ones that did the A basin. So we're comfortable with them and happy with them to do the work. We would recommend that we approve the bid for CAS Construction in the amount of $177.25.
Lisa gets something off that list.
Yeah.
I'm just really glad that this planning like this we're showing the fruits of this.
Yeah.
The budgeting for this. I'm just really hoping that that's happening.
Yeah, because so many times those master plans and stuff end up on the shelf.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't fund them, and it is nice that we're able to fund the stuff that does.
Well, and God forbid we have interruptions to those master plans, but just keeping on this line is excellent, excellent. Love it.
Anybody have any questions or comments? If not, is there a motion?
I move to accept the bid from CAS Constructors LLC in the amount of $177,025 for the digester diffuser replacement and authorize the necessary signatures.
Second.
Second.
Nobody will-
Whoa. I can see that.
Smale,
Aye.
Ace.
Aye.
Heckman.
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
All right, 115 West Wea. Deed acceptance.
Yes, so, this is no surprise, we've worked with this for quite some time, so, just a little overview. The property owners did not commence any repairs of the property that we set out in the timeline of resolution, 2023-010. So therefore, the city council has had multiple discussions during work study about this and in executive sessions as well, on whether to demolish the building or to repair it. And the issue comes, in order to repair the building, the city has to take ownership of the property. And will be financially responsible for the back taxes and the future expense of the property. If the council would like to demolish the building, the cost of demolition would be assessed in special assessments to the lot or the parcel on which the land, or where the structure is currently located. So, after some discussions that we have had, I approached the property owners, and it was a teamwork between me and Lee Tatweiler, who both have contacted them. The current owners are Thomas and Jennifer Wright, and they utilize Eland Title Company to have a quitclaim deed prepared in order to deed the property to the city of Paola. In order for the city to take over ownership of the property, the back taxes will have to be paid at the time the deed is recorded. So if the city council wishes to move forward, we would also have to move forward with paying the back taxes in the total amount of $13,965.15. So that is honestly what is up for discussion is, first off, do you want to accept the quitclaim deed? And if so, we need to approve to pay for the back taxes upon recording of the deed. We have been following KSA 1750, which is the dangerous structure ordinance with Lee Tatweiler as well through this entire process. So
Do you receive this letter before tonight?
No.
Have you read what's in this letter?
I have just read it, and due to the fact that the last sentence asked for compensation, I would advise that we do not discuss that until the city attorney can look at that as well.
it can be discussed, but I would advise that no decisions are made at this moment. I think that is definitely Tetwiler territory to review.
So should we table the motion for tonight?
I don't think so, because this is on if the city would like to move forward with repairing the building. This, I think, would be a separate issue on its own.
I'd really like to see us get going on this.
Yeah.
I would too, but I don't want us to get a bunch of extra money we have to pay out without legal advising us that we're not gonna be liable for this, because our building, if we take this building, didn't cause these damages when it was our building. If they wanted damages from the owner of the building, they should have sued the owners of the building. We're taking this building, to one, make sure there's not a hole in the square, but mainly to help the people that the building needs.
And adjacent to, yes, yes, I agree.
I think it's a separate issue, and we're okay to move forward if you guys are comfortable with that.
If as long as it's a separate issue, I'm comfortable.
Any other comments or questions on this? As much as you don't want to spend ARPA funds on something like this, at least they're there.
Yeah.
Okay, if there's a motion,
I move to accept the quitclaim deed from Thomas and Jennifer Wright for the property located at 115 West Wheel and pay the back taxes in the amount of $13,965.15.
I'll second.
Mail,
Aye.
Hayes,
Aye.
Beckman,
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
thank you. All right, salary of governing body, ordinance number 3211.
Okay, yes, so as previously discussed at work study, we have discovered that the city council adopted ordinance 2674 in 1997, which establishing the salaries of governing body, which for council members was set to $150 per month, and mayor was to receive $135 per month for city council, $150 per month for mayor. So we discussed the annual amount, which is $1,620 for city council and $1,800 for mayor. So obviously for the discussion, city council reviewed other municipalities and their rates and took in consideration the amount of time that has passed between the original established rate structure and the amount of time that you all sacrificed to be here and to do this job for us. So we're proposing that the city council members would get $4,000 annually, so that is $153.84 per pay period. Vicki, please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. And then $6,000 annually for mayor, which is $230.77 per pay period. We are asking to make this effective December 31st, 2023, to make it easier on Miss Vicki Belt due to pay period landing. Just trying to make everyone cohesive here. So obviously the total annual compensation for the governing body would increase from $8,280 to $30,000 starting December 31st, not January 1st, sorry, December 31st, 2023. So staff recommends adopting ordinance 3211 to set the annual salary for each council member to $4,000 and $6,000 for the mayor effective December 31st, 2023. The ordinance is attached for your reviewing.
Any questions? I would like to bring up that Dave graciously brought this up because you're going off and you know you won't benefit, but you see the value in the job. So it's Dave's fault.
It is, and I think you guys should get paid more than that, and I think the mayor definitely needs the extra money. She probably will break even on gas with $6,000.
Yeah. You know, and the commissioners, I don't even know what they're up to now.
30-some thousand,
They're
What?
with benefits and even more.
30-some thousand.
Okay.
I remember it used to be 14,000,
Yeah,
and I thought that was outrageous. But
now
us
it's,
compared with other municipalities around, I felt like we were way underpaid for what we do and the responsibilities that we carry. And they are immense. I mean, when you get into this job, you have to accept responsibilities for what you're doing. So I agree with Dave.
So I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number 3211, setting the annual salary of each council member to $4,000 and $6,000 to the mayor effective December 31st, 2023.
And I second.
Smale,
Aye.
Hayes. Aye. Beckman,
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Thank you. All right. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
You're right.
Staff reports. Vicky, do you have anything else?
I don't.
No? Chief?
Nope.
Kirk? Krista?
We have hired a new building inspector. So I think it's a testament to the quality of employees that we have and how hard they work for the city. We are stealing Jody Kinsey from Public Works. He will start on the 14th of August.
Sorry, Kurt.
We have a little bit, yeah, we have a little bit of a track record at City Hall, I think.
We like to.
We just have good people.
Yeah, everyone works hard, they do what they can, and so I appreciate you letting him come on and. We'll still let him push, no. You did ask.
That makes so good. No,
We'll
so.
get to train him some more.
You're kind of like the minor leagues. Training them up. Anything else?
So, just to note, our ever popular field hours for the turf, they started this week. It's, the open field hours are Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 4 to 8, and then Sunday from 2 to 6. Scheduled practices for rec teams come first. And, Wesley publicizes a calendar, so you can check before you go down there to see if it'll be open at that time. So, wanted to get that out there. And then also, Mid-America Regional Council reached out to us and said that August 15th is the 8th annual City Hall Selfie Day. So they would like to come by City Hall on August 15th. They want to arrive at City Hall at 4 o'clock, take a picture and leave by 4:15. If anyone,
If only everyone.
I know, so if anyone would like to join us at City Hall on August 15th at 4 o'clock, we'd love to have you in the picture for City Hall Selfie Day.
I'm gonna tell Mr. Blaustein I need to be gone today, so I can be in the picture. He'll understand.
Yeah.
I have a question on the ball fields.
Sure.
So when you say they're gonna be open, does that mean anybody can walk in or, and they will be open for, and
Started yesterday.
and what are the times again?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 4 to 8,
Okay,
and then Sunday from 2 to 6.
okay,
And there's a schedule online. They can look and see if the team's already reserved it.
okay. So teams will reserve it, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They were tighter before because ball field was.
We have
being
cameras now,
utilized.
yeah, and we have cameras now, and they were right in the middle of the softball season, and they were booked with practices and games, so.
Mhm.
But yes, we also have cameras now, so that way we can monitor and close them if we ever need to.
Yes.
See, that's all I have.
Stephanie?
I got, on your desk was the publication for the newspaper for the budget. All the numbers are in there and that will be the, what goes out in the newspaper.
All right. Dave, do you have anything?
Nope.
Stephanie?
No.
Kathy, Leanne, do you have anything?
Just that the parking lot looks great across from the senior center and the alley.
And it's nice that they added the extra handicappers too.
Parking lot does look great, and it was exciting to see progress at Rock Stadium. And just, there's a little bit of a misconception, I think, that people think you're tearing down all the rock. But that's not happening.
What are they doing?
But it's exciting that the fences, because I went down there yesterday and saw, yeah, a little bit of movement down there. So, yep. And then, I already talked to our rec director about this, but I just think that we've made a good progress. Everybody's got goals and things that we want to do, but I think we're working in the right direction. I think he's only been here since February.
Well, that's what I wanted to
You know,
tell
so-
them, that it was their time to tell us,
Yeah,
but we've only been doing this for not even a full year.
right.
so-
And it's one guy.
Yeah. He's doing
He's facilities, maintenance, scheduling, he's everything right now, so.
He
um,
had some magnificent ideas the other day.
Yes.
I was so
Yeah.
excited to hear all that.
So I'm excited about the future of the rec.
I am too.
And that was all I had.
I think they will be too, once they see
Yeah.
the progress.
And I mean, there's been a lot of
It's
good
just like
feedback.
the schedule now that he sees,
Mhm,
they've got all these days that they can go down there and be on it.
mhm,
It shouldn't be that much of a problem.
right.
Change takes a while though, you know, that it's gonna take a while to get things ironed out.
Yes, if you do it right, it usually goes a little bit slow, but, you know, so.
Well, a lot of people don't realize the hoops we have to jump through to get things done.
Well, he's the first one ever. We didn't have a rec department, so not only is he the only one, he's the first one to ever do it. So he's doing a good job.
I think so too.
That's all I have. If anybody would like to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
One second.
Snail,
All right.
Casey.